Welcome to Damia, Sage of Stone. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, we've got one land in the hand, a little clunky. Let's go and mulligan on that one. And that's going to be Misty, Rogue's Passage. Yeah, I guess we're going to keep on this one. We have Supreme Will, Coalition Relic. If we hit that third land, we'll be in a really... Yeah, we're going to keep on this one. See what that scry is. Definitely going to put that on the bottom for right now. And then anything else, opponents on the play, we're going to let them do their thing. We're playing Damia, Sage of Stone. Death Touch, skip your draw step. Then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. It's going to get down Misty. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Playing against Yisan, the Wandering Bard. The bard who rides on a horse, or actually, excuse me, a centipede with no name, singing those songs. Let's go to get down Rogue's Passage, and then anything else, we can kick it back over there. 3 mana activation, put a verse counter on Yisan, the Wandering Bard. Or the Wanderer Bard, excuse me. Search your library for a creature card with converting mana cost equal to the number of verse counters on Yisan. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. And actually, just a little bit of clarity. Me and our opponent, we just played earlier, and he was playing, or he or she was playing Yargle, the Naya Enchantress. I think that's how you say their name. But I misplayed horribly, and they ended up winning. All right, so we ran into 3 in Dynamo. Hopefully we hit one more land. That'll put us online for Coalition Relic. I know we've got some in there, but we'll kick it over there. I'm not cracking the Misty just yet because I want to wait and see what sort of land we need to crack to get some of this other stuff down. But yeah, we played earlier, and then I went for a Fact or Fiction, and the way they split the pile up, I had Damnation was one of the piles, and they threw an enchantment on... their commander that gave it indestructible. I didn't see that, so I just completely tap out for Damnation, and just it did nothing. And I was like, okay, got to pay attention sometimes what some of those enchantments do. But just wanted to give some clarity. Our opponent did win the last match, but hopefully we get some mana going, and then we should be in a pretty good spot. You know, get down Coalition Relic, get down 3 in Dynamo, be able to go from there. All right, keep our fingers crossed for that land drop. Drawn to Villainous Wealth. All right, we're gonna kick the turn back over. Let's see. What do we get rid of? I guess at this point right now, I do like holding on to Crux of Fate. That's a good option for us to range Supreme Will too. Let's go and get rid of Villainous Wealth. I would love to have Villainous Wealth, but at this point right now, if we can't make our land drops, then it's not really going to be that good of a win condition for us. Our opponent does have Sylvan down, and they will have an open Yisan to start kind of tutoring through their library to see what they want to grab. But yeah, as far as Damia goes, it's been a long time since I recorded Damia. I've kind of been in a Sultai... how do you describe it? Just been really happy with playing Muldrotha. It just makes for a really fun deck sometimes. But there's, you know, I was sitting there trying to figure out what I wanted to record today, and Damia sounded really good. It's been a while since we played her, so I'm just going to go for a Yisan activation. They're going to get the Tree Speaker down onto the battlefield, and then go for a level up counter on that creature. Drawn to Sunken Ruins, awesome. Let's go and get Sunken Ruins down. Let's go and crack Misty. And we'll actually be online for this Crux of Fate, hopefully pretty quick. What are we going to grab? We need to grab a black-green source. Let's go and grab a Bayou off of that. Let's go and get down Bayou. Let's go and go for a Coalition Relic. That's going to be 1, 2, and 3. There we go. And then let's go and put a charge counter on Coalition. We could leave up a counter spell, but last thing I want to do is kind of yield through our turn and not get that extra mana, because it will be online for Crux of Fate. Once we do end up going for Crux of Fate, our opponent doesn't really have any sort of dragons over there. Most of those are either humans or elves out there. So we'll be online for Crux of Fate, then we can kind of start going from there. If things get a little messy on our opponent's side of the board, at least we do have Deranged Hermit to kind of buy us a little bit more time. And then hopefully, doing what Damia wants to do, we can exhaust our hand and then really kind of start getting some of that card draw going back again. Opponent's going to go for a Satyr Wayfinder, and then they chunk a few cards into the graveyard. So we'll see what else they're going to roll out. And opponent's going to get down Sylvan Ranger, searching your library for a basic card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Now, as far as changes to Damia, I don't think I've really made any sort of particular changes to Damia. They did go for the Buried Ruin activation, bringing back Mindstone too. Okay, opponent's going to be swinging it for 1, get that Tree Speaker damage coming in, putting us down to 28. And then we'll go and get that Coalition Relic. We'll see what we draw into. If we don't have to take the charge, draw into Flooded Strand. Okay. We'll go and take that. Yeah, we'll go and take that off because we can make the land drop. Let's go and add black to our mana pool. Yes, we're going to use that ability. Let's go and get down Flooded Strand. Let's go and crack Flooded Strand. Let's go and grab a blue-green source off of Flooded Strand. Let's go and grab a Tropical Island. And let's go and go for Crux of Fate. I'm going to destroy all... Man, I get so worried. Yeah, non-dragon creature. There we go. All right, I'm going to go for Crux of Fate. I always get really worried that I'm going to accidentally click destroy all dragon creatures, and then that would not be good for, wouldn't be good for us. It'd be good for our opponent, but wouldn't be good for us. So we're going to go for Crux of Fate. See what our opponent's going to go for. Draw a card, okay. I was worried that was going to be Heroic Intervention or something like that. All right, take care of them. Let's go and put a charge counter onto Coalition Relic, and then anything else, kick it back over there. Now, next turn we can go for, it's going to be two charge counters on Coalition Relic. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll actually be one away from Damia. If we do run into a land drop, we can actually tap out for Damia if we want to. If not, we can simply just get down Thran Dynamo, kind of go for Guruk Wildspeaker, and that's going to give us a little bit of more options to go as far as starting to build up a little bit of a board state. We can go for that -1, getting those 3/3 beast tokens onto the battlefield, and then also kind of start working towards a Liliana activation. The good thing about sending Yisan back to the command zone is that it's going to get reset on verse counters. So by us getting down Liliana, hopefully we can kind of keep whatever sort of creatures off the battlefield that our opponent's going to be searching up. We can definitely use it for Lana War Elves if we need to. Okay, we're drawn to Vraska Relic Seeker. Charge counter is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we want to tap out for that extra Coalition Relic trigger? That's going to give us 5 total mana to kind of work with. Yeah, let's go and put a charge counter. I think, if I'm looking at it right, we might be able to get some. Yeah, let's go and go on this one. Let's go double green. Let's go and go for Thran Dynamo. Tap out for 1 more off Tropical Island. Yeah, there we go. Let's go and get that down. Let's go and go for Guruk Wildspeaker. Tap out for 1, 2, 3. And let's go and untap up to 2 target lands. Let's go and untap Bayou and then Sunken Ruins. There we go. All right, I was thinking we could kind of get some work done this particular turn. Let's go and filter for double black. There we go. And it's going to get down Liliana, and we're going to go ahead and target the Lana War Elves. There we go. All right, good turn on that one. Let's go and target Lana War Elves, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. There we go. So this is pretty much what you want to happen with Damia. We got a Guruk Wildspeaker. It's going to allow us to kind of start untapping some of our lands. We have some sort of clock to start pushing on our opponent. We can get to that -7. Liliana is just an absolutely wonderful planeswalker to play with. I always really enjoy it. You can get to that -7, start working towards those zombies. Makes for a really, really fun match. And I don't know. It's just kind of like, it reminds me when I first got into Magic, when you just keep getting those zombies turn after turn after turn. It really makes it kind of feel like a... kind of like one of those zombie movies or something like that. But as far as what else we've got, we've got Ulamog coming down. It's going to be 10 total mana. Indestructible to destroy target permanent. See what they're going to go for on this one. And like I said, yeah, that is indestructible, so we're not going to be able to take care of that with the Vraska trigger. All right, that is a 10/10, and it does not have Trample, but it does have Annihilator 4, which is going to be an issue for us. All right, drawn to Temple of Malady. Do we want to put a charge counter on Coalition Relic? No, we'll go and wait on that one. Let's go and get down Temple of Malady, get the Scry going. Sire of Stagnation, yeah, we're a little far away from that. We almost kind of need something like Toxic Deluge. What we can do is tap out for Deranged Hermit. That's going to give us at least a little bit, survive another turn from that Annihilator 4. In fact, let's go and go for that. Let's go and go for the +1 ability on Fyndhorn Elves. If somehow we can get to that ultimate and survive Ulamog, we can get a lot of those tokens going. That's kind of what we're going for at this point. Let's go and tap out for Thran Dynamo, and it's going to be double green. Getting down to Range Hermit, and that still allow us to go for Supreme Will too if we need to counter something. All right, there we go. Get those 4 squirrel tokens on the battlefield, 2 2s, and then anything else. Now we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. Now we are still online for Supreme Will. We can counter target spell unless they pay 3, but they do have a lot of mana out there, so we may end up doing a Supreme Will. It's kind of digging just a little bit deeper into our library to maybe find some sort of answer. Opponent's going to go for a Yisan activation, okay. And opponent's going to get down Tri-Belter, which is going to allow them to get another land onto the battlefield. Okay. Let's see if Ulamog's going to swing in. Like I said, we'll be able to survive this squirrel. Annihilated 4 squirrels. But we'll go and throw the Deranged Hermit in front of Ulamog too. This is what makes Magic so good. Alright, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. And the Deranged Hermit's going to throw himself in front of Ulamog. Thank you, Deranged Hermit. I really appreciate that. Alright, there we go. Put that in front of them. And then we'll still go ahead and go for the Supreme Will. Just to dig a little bit deeper. We'll see what else they roll out. But for the most part, we'll probably go for this Supreme Will. Alright. Carametra's Acolyte, alright. And then kick it over there. Let's go and add blue to our mana pool. Let's go and tap out for Sunken Ruins and then Rogue's Passage. Let's go and go Supreme Will on this one. Look at the top 4 cards of our library. Damnation, that is not going to help us. Skyshroud Claim. So we're looking at Annihilator 4. If we go for Vraska, that's going to give us another Pirate token. That's going to allow us to at least chump block. That's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to have 9 total mana. Now, if we hit the land drop, we can actually go Damnation and Vraska, which is going to allow us to kind of not worry about some of our planeswalkers getting hit on this one. Yeah, let's go and grab Damnation. I think I like that. We're going to put those on the bottom in any order and just keep our fingers crossed that we do hit a land drop. Drawn to Worn Power Stone. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go and get down Vraska. So we plus up on Liliana on, let's say that we plus up on Karametra, because it can tack in for 1. It's going to give them some extra devotion. If we can, they can swing it with Yisan, but more than likely they're simply just going to go for an activation. Let's go and go for the plus up on Karametra with Liliana. Let's go and go for Vraska Relic Seeker. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then green and then black. We're going to tap out for Rogue's Passage. And that'll still give us just enough mana to go for Worn Power Stone. I'll be able to go for the +2 on Vraska, create that pirate token, and let's go and go for Worn Power Stone. So we are looking at Annihilator 4, but we can still kind of get out from underneath this one. Get down Worn Power Stone, and then anything else we're going to go pass the turn to our opponent. Now, let's say that we do kind of start getting rid of some of our lands. The main thing is if we can protect Liliana, we might be able to get some zombies going kind of on the battlefield. Annihilator 4 is going to be hard to kind of keep up with, but in some sort of weird way, if we can get the Liliana ultimate going, that might be another way for us to win, to get out from underneath Ulamog. Other than that, we're just really going to need to draw into something like Toxic Deluge, but we'll see how our opponent wants to kind of shake it up. Ooh. Opponent went for the Memorial activation, and they did grab Terastodon on top of their library. So it's going to enter the battlefield, destroy up to 3 target non-creature permanents. Yeah, so if they're going to go for that, that's actually going to take care of us. Between that and the Annihilator 4, it's going to be really hard for us to bounce back from that. We can sacrifice some of the tokens to Terastodon, but yeah, at this point right now, with those losing both Planeswalkers, it's going to be really hard for us to kind of bounce back from that. Okay. Let's go and get that crossed off. But unfortunately, you know, our opponent got off to a really good start. It was really good to kind of see Yisan kind of go off like this. There's been times where I played against Yisan, and it tends to be combo style deck. So just to kind of see a, not necessarily a mana dork, but just a kind of more of a traditional build of Yisan. It's always nice to see that. And then we've got the Eldrazi kind of swinging down on that one. All right, so our opponent wants to swing. We got an Ulamog swinging in, Annihilator 4. I guess at this point, we're just going to get rid of our tokens. Yeah, Elephant, Pirate token, and we'll go and get rid of, I guess at this point right now, Coalition Relic. Yeah, get rid of that one. And swinging it for 10, that will put us down to 17. Let's see if we draw into that, draw into Counterspell. Okay, now as far as next turn goes, it's going to be 10, 19, that's going to be 20. Yeah, that's going to be lethal. Good game to our opponent. Definitely took care of that one on that one. Ulamog coming down with that Annihilator 4 is always brutal to bounce back from, but we gave it our best with Deranged Hermit out there trying to get those squirrel tokens going, but that's how we Magic goes sometimes. In fact, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Slimefoot the Spore Cloud. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, let's go to Mulligan. We've got one land. I'd like Kodama's Reach in there. Ooh, and then we can make that work. Smuggler's, yeah, we'll keep on this one. We got Fungal Sprouting. Lightning Greaves, yes, we'll definitely go ahead and put that on top. I think that sounds pretty good. And our opponents on the play, we're going to go and let them do their thing. We're playing Slimefoot the Stowaway. Whenever a sapling you control dies, Stowaway deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. Then for a 4 mana activation, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Playing against Jhoira. Not Jhoira, it's Jhoira. In case anybody was out there is wondering. It is indeed Jhoira. 2 mana. Exile non-land card from your hand, put 4 time counters on the exile card. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. All right, opponent's going to go for a careful study, drawing 2 cards and then discarding 2 cards. And our opponent did say in the comment section, Cheaty Face, and so apparently they're talking about Jhoira being Miss Cheaty Face, so I like that. Let's go and get down Wooded Foothills and then anything. Yeah, we'll just go ahead. Well, we'll leave it up. We could crack and go and get down Overgrown Tomb, but we'll leave it up. We cover both commanders' free time. We can talk about whatever we want. That's going to be Slimefoot. If you did not see this deck tech, I did release it out on MTGO Trainers last Friday. So if you want to check out a few more gameplay videos, head on over there. It was pretty fun little set of videos. Start with the Duretti video. That would definitely be the best one to start with. I'm not going to pay 2 life on that one, and then we'll kick it back over to our turn. Let's go and get Command Tower down. Let's go and go for Lightning Greaves. We do draw into Toxic Deluge, which is going to be pretty good for us, because mainly we want to keep Jhoira off the battlefield. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So we will be able to make the land drop next turn. We're looking at getting down Slimefoot. Probably going to go and throw those Lightning Greaves onto Slimefoot. That way we can start to get some of those saplings going. We do have a heavy Aristocrat build with this particular deck, but sometimes, ooh, do we want to go for Toxic for 2? Yeah, I'm thinking we might end up going for that. Ooh, drawn to Skull Clamp, wonderful. Let's go to get down Forest. Yeah, let's Toxic for 2. I don't think we really want to untap with our opponent getting some sort of mana at this point. It's going to be 1, 2, yeah, Pay 2 life on this one, go down to 27, take care of Jhoira, and then we're going to pass turn to our opponent. So, next turn, we are looking at Slimefoot, getting down Skull Clamp, and then going to town. Like I said, we do have a heavy aristocrat to build with this deck, but when you get something down like Skull Clamp, that's basically just 4 mana, make a sapling token, and then start drawing some cards. Let's go and get down Forest. Yeah, let's go and go for that. Let's go for Slimefoot. Our opponent might have some sort of spot removal or a counter spell, but I like rolling out Slimefoot at this point right now. We'll see if they do. Okay, and Slimefoot does stick. Let's go and put Lightning Greaves onto Slimefoot. Once again, seeing if they have some sort of spot removal or a Ponga Fire. So there we go. Alright, we're good to go. Let's go and get down Skull Clamp, and then anything else. We're going to go and pass the turn. Do we want to swing in for 2? Is there like a counter spell on Skull Clamp? Yeah, that's fair enough. Anything else? Yeah, let's just go ahead. We'll go and swing in for 2, especially since they tapped out on that 2 mana. If they hadn't tapped out for counter spell, we probably wouldn't have held back. We probably would have held back just in case. Who knows? Hate to lose Slimefoot into some sort of flash creature entering the battlefield. But yes, as far as the deck goes, we're definitely wanting to get as many saplings down, start sacrificing them. You can see we have Falconwrath Noble in the hand. That's another way for us to kind of amplify that damage that we're dealing to our opponent. And the fun thing about Slimefoot is that Slimefoot deals damage whenever you sacrifice or whenever a sapling dies. So we are running Tainted Strike in here. It's actually one of the very few decks on my channel that I go for Infect. So, and it's kind of on theme. If you think about Slimefoot being a Spore Cloud, then just casting Tainted Strike in response to a board wipe or something. Oh, I haven't got to do it yet, but that's something that we definitely want to get set up in the deck. Or at least that's a bingo sheet win condition for the deck that I definitely want to get one day. All right, I'm just going to get down Phyrexian Metamorph, making a copy of Gilded Lotus. So they are getting to the point now where they should start hard casting some of that stuff. Pretty good counterspell on Skull Clamp too, so that's going to stop us from getting card draw. All right, see what we're drawing to. Drawing to Carrion Feeder. Let's do this. Do we want to go for Smuggler's Copter? We can crew it up with Slimefoot. Draw on Ludicard. Yeah, let's go and do that. Either way, we can still go and get down Carrion Feeder. Let's go and crew it up. Crew Smuggler's Copter up on Slimefoot. Let's go and swing in. Oh, excuse me, it's Summoning Sickness. I was figuring about that. Let's go and keep down Carrion Feeder, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Yeah, I don't really play with too many vehicles, and I always forget that it's kind of like if you animate a man land or whatever, the turn it came in, it's still going to have Summoning Sickness. So, but if our opponent does get down something hasty, we can at least crew it up off the Carrion Feeder, and then block whatever they're going to get down. But as far as the mana check goes, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, like I said, typically with Jhoira decks, they're kind of depends on what our opponent's build is. I've seen a few Eldrazi builds, but they basically don't really need their commander anymore, unless they want to suspend certain ways to, certain spells in a certain manner or something. But as far as the deck goes, yeah, pretty much covered it. You can see we've got Falconwrath Noble in here. We also have Blood Artist and Zulaport Cutthroat. And then really, as far as building Slimefoot, one of the big things that you do want to keep in mind is that you can definitely go with like kind of that Spore Creature build where you're getting those Spore counters at the beginning of your upkeep, but I found that it's a little slow sometimes. And it's not saying you can't take Ooh, there we go. All right, that's what I was talking about. We got Emrakul coming down. They're going to be able to take a gain control of that opponent and take an extra turn. Anything we can do, yeah, they're going to go for that. We did draw to Naturalize, so we'll see how they want to sequence this one turn. We'll still get an extra turn after this one. But as far as those Spore creatures, yeah, they're just a little slow. I've built a lot of Spore decks over the time. I have Atraxa Fungus, which is a lot of fun to play. That's kind of one of the only really fungus builds that I'm really happy with, because once you do get an Atraxa, you can really get that proliferate going. But as far as yeah, I figured that one. But as far as going for a Spore counter deck with Slimefoot, me personally, I feel that he's better suited for a more of like like using stuff like Fungal Sprouting to get saplings onto the battlefield, or using a lot of mana rocks to create those saplings using Slimefoot himself. And you can still run a few utility saplings in there, like we have the Death Spore in here, and with the Death Spore, we can sacrifice a sapling and put a -1 counter on target creature. So like a good utility creature like that, it's definitely something that you can use. But for the most part, oh god, this is just brutal. Just watching our board state, and all we're gonna have is I'm trying to give commentary, but I'm just watching the board just get picked apart. Oh, that was brutal. We do get an extra turn though. Let's go and tap out for Thran Dynamo. We'll open some mana up. Who knows? Maybe we can draw into some sort of board wipe. Anything else? We're gonna go and pass. Yeah, that was. Oh. It's like watching our car slowly crash into another car or something like that. But yeah, long story short, I feel that Slimefoot's a little bit more suited to be more of a heavy mana deck and get those sapling activations going. It makes it for a little bit easier, to be honest. But don't stop you from doing that. It's still a lot of fun to get those spore counters on some of those creatures. See what our opponent's going to be tapping out for. They've got one card in the hand. They're going to get down Jhoira. We are sitting at 14. Let's see what we draw into. Draw into Jade Mage. We're looking at Jade Mage. Get that down for 2. We can end up with 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll end up with at least 1 activation. But unfortunately, Emrakul does have trample. So swinging in for 13 next turn. I guess what we can do, Falconwrath Noble does have flying. It'll buy us a little bit of time. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and go for Falconwrath Noble. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Tap out for black. And let's go and get down Jade Mage. 1, 2. That way we can at least trade with Jhoira, get in a little bit of life. Anything else, we're going to pass the turn. So our opponent does have 1 card in the hand, so if we do get lucky and top deck something like Damnation, we can clear the board out, and then hopefully kind of rebound from there. And that's going to be the last card in their hand, going for Mind Stone, which they're going to go ahead and crack and see if they can't draw a card. So we're at least going to be able to throw Falconwrath Noble in front of Emrakul and chump block on Jhoira. All right, let's go and do that. Well, that's going to put us down to 1. I guess either way we're dead, so we don't necessarily need to block. Yeah, we're going to let that come through. It's going to be 13, putting us down to 1. The only thing that, if we draw into a fetch land or something like that, it'd be a little clunky. And then we draw into Swiftfoot Boots. That's going to get it. Good game to our opponent. Definitely enjoyed getting to play this one. But yeah, you can see how brutal taking extra turn with Emrakul and then just wiping the entire board can be sometimes. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Yargle, Glutton of Urborg. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I like it. We'll keep on this one. We've got a pretty good mix of stuff in that. We have Tainted Strike, which I'm normally not a huge fan of Infect and Commander, but oh yeah, definitely going to go for it. Let's go and get down Bajuka Bog. Let's go and target our opponent's graveyard just to send a message, and then anything else we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. We are playing Yargle, Glutton of Urborg. There are no rules text, only flavor text, so we're going to go and read that one. When Belzenlock's Lieutenant Yarkul grew too ambitious, the Demon Lord transformed into a maggot. The frog that ate the maggot grew and grew until a ravenous spirit burst from its body, giving us Yargle. Pretty 9-3 body over there. He likes to skip leg day at the gym, which is rather unfortunate, so he's a little bit top-heavy with that 3 toughness, but hopefully we can kind of get around that one with a lot of the artifacts that we do have in our hand. Let's go and get down Swamp. Let's go and go for Hero's Blade, which is an absolute all-star in the deck. I love Hero's Blade, and then anything else. We have no removal, otherwise we'd definitely be going for Dryad Arbor, and we'll go and pass turn. Playing against Azusa, Lost But Seeking. You may play 2 additional lands on each of your turns, and then we'll see if we're playing against Azusa Eldrazi, which seems to be very, very popular online, which kind of gets old. Azusa, yeah, I don't know. Just ever since they kind of banned a lot of that, the blue cantrips and stuff like that, we've seen a lot of uptick in Azusa Eldrazi stuff. So, is what it is. We're kind of getting that competitor stuff going. Let's see if our opponent's going to have 2 full land drops to get down for the turn. And then also only 1 land drop, and they'll go and kick it back over to us. Okay, drawn to Wall of Blood. Now, we do have an interesting interaction in our hands. We get down Buried Ruin. We go for Wall of Blood. We can pay 1 life to give it +1/+1. We can also go for Dying Wish on this one. So it kind of puts us in a spot to where whenever enchant creature you control, whenever it dies, target player loses X life and you gain X life, where X is its power. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go and tap out for Wall of Blood. I think I kind of like maybe leaving that particular line of play up. That's also one of the backup win conditions for the deck is Wall of Blood. We have stuff like I mentioned, Dying Wish to go for. There's another card in here. Oh, what is that card? There's another card that works really well with Wall of Blood, and I can't remember what it is, and I went for it one time to go for the sacrifice. No, I think it's Essence Harvest. Yes, this is what Essence Harvest. So I had Essence Harvest on Wall of Blood. Our opponent was completely tapped out. I was playing against a Grixis deck. I was like, all right, let's go for it, because it was like 5 minutes into the match, and then my opponent had Force of Will. So I paid all that life, and it knocked me down to like 2 or 3, and I was like, only 1 card can stop us. Let's go for it. And then we got our hand caught in the cookie jar on that one. So they definitely Force of Will our Essence Harvest off that Wall of Blood, paying all that life. So, but we do have that particular line of play to go for. In fact, that does sound like a lot of fun to kind of stop our opponent going from that one. So we'll see what we can come up with. If we draw into some sort of removal spell, we'll definitely be online for that one. I've lost to a lot of, let's go and get down Whisper Silk Cloak. Or do we want to end up going for that Dying Wish? Yeah, let's go for Dying Wish. Why not? Let's go and get the threat going for our opponent. Get that one on there. They are actually 1 life total below us, so that's going to allow us to at least go ahead and close that game out. BRB. Okay, we'll let our opponent do their thing real quick. Okay, opponent's going to tap out for Fierce Impact. Search your library for a creature guard with 6 or greater, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. The opponent does have 6 mana left over, so more than likely we're going to see a Prime Time coming down on the battlefield. So see what they search up off of this Fierce Impact trigger. Alright, Prime Time's going to hit the battlefield. They're going to be able to search up for 2 lands. More than likely, we'll see some Eldrazi lands hit the battlefield. That'll kind of keep them on curve for coming across on that one. Now, fingers crossed, if we run into some sort of board wipe, we run into some sort of spot removal, we are sitting at only 3 mana at this point right now. So hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed for some sort of spot removal, and that'll also allow us to kind of go for the Wall of Blood activation. See what we draw into. Draw into Phyrexian Scriptures, and we do not have enough mana to cast that, unfortunately. Let's go and tap out for Whisper Silk Cloak. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now, we're kind of in this weird holding pattern. Our opponent does end up getting down Prime Time, or maybe they do swing across with Prime Time. If they do that, what we can do is, well, actually, if we end up paying that life, it's going to make Wall of Blood a little bit bigger, and it won't die from that Primeval Titan trigger, which is not going to allow us to go for that, fun activation off Dying Wish. Let's see what else they're going to tap out for. Alright, opponent's going to get down Titania. They're going to be able to bring back Wooded Foothills to the battlefield, and that will put them in a spot where they can crack that one and get a 5/3 Elemental too. And then opponent will get down Regal Force, drawing a ton of cards for each green creature that they control. And then also with the, it's always fun seeing Nykthos being a 5/5 creature off of Nissa. I'm just going to go for a Course of Kruphix, okay, and it's going to be Tooth and Nail on top of their library. So, at this point right now, we're only looking at 3 total mana. We do have Go for the Throat, which is pretty much going to be our only out on this one. So, hopefully if we draw to Go for the Throat, we do get into spots where we could go for Toxic Deluge, but that's not going to allow us to kind of pay enough life total off that one, or simply drawing into something like Essence Harvest. Essence Harvest would allow us to kind of get out from underneath this one. We'll see what else we kind of draw into, though, but that's pretty much, we're only looking at about 2 cards that's going to allow us to kind of push past on this one. Opponent's going to swing it with Prime Time, coming across for 6/6. Alright, that does put us down to 24 when drawn to Daunting Embrace. Good game to our opponent. Unfortunately, he's going to get it on this one. We're not going to be able to especially whenever Prime Time swung in for 6 and knock us down to 24. That kind of cut us out of the run for going for Dying Wish. So, unfortunately, that did happen. Actually, good game to our opponent. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.